all of this comes together in as you look at your future P&L, at lack of a better word. One hand, you have your cost of capital, and again, cost of capital varies whether how much you are on global funds or on your domestic borrowings. Lot of the global capital that is going increasingly getting embedded more and more with your path to net zero, ESG-linked financing, and so on. You have some amount of green premium from customers coming in, but like it was mentioned, I think in the country today we are still in developing stage. Again, some sectors maybe you'll start seeing that. How do you factor that in? But I think one important point here is that as you set up adopting these technologies for decarbonizing yourself, one size does not fit all. You have to get into really the nitty-gritties of it to say what makes it work. If you're looking at replacing a coking coal with biochar-coal, where is the supply chain? At what cost are you getting it? If you're looking at electrification, how is it adding to your, is it a IRR positive, is it IRR negative? How do you look at that? And there is a need to then orchestrate that into a certain direction, because you are as against in the past when sectors or industries were adopting new technologies, so it was on the back of a more efficient technology. This time it is for the sake of climate. So by design, they are not efficient. They are not cost effective. They are not at a scale of technology which you would normally adopt. So there is an aggregation element. There is a cost of financing element. There is creating a clear business case that has to happen, and that has to happen in a very measured way. What industry is able to do now, or beginning to do now, is to create that scale, which then brings all these different stakeholders together.
The automotive industry, a lot of consumers asking for those products which like are environmental friendly. And that's why you would see our penetration, those started late, but in EV, in passenger vehicles, it's already more than 2%. Mind it, in 2020, it was almost zero, right? Yeah. So from that 0 to 2% you have reached last year in 22, I'm talking calendar year. 23, probably it would reach 3.5%, and then my estimate is 30% by 2030. It can vary between 20% to 40%. Right? So, and again, it's a question of supply and demand. From demand perspective, what consumers probably are asking, they're asking for good, right cost solutions for India. And especially youngsters and young generation, they pay a lot of premium towards this sustainable products and environmental friendly products. Older generation, which I belong to, unfortunately, are still on cost of ownership more than the environmental friendliness. And that's a fact in our industry. So, but only thing is, I would say if you take other countries' example like China or Japan or US and Europe, there is a tipping point. I feel at 6 to 7% penetration becomes a tipping point. So from the supply side, from the OEM's perspective, I think it becomes onus on us to ensure that we have good, compelling, right cost for India kind of solutions. And that's what is missing, to be very honest, at this point of time. We have only few players and few entries into that segment. So I agree and concur with ma'am that if we are able to provide some more products, I think adoption rate will be faster. And that's the challenge at this point of time from our industry perspective.